to my channel. I hope this video finds you well. Sounding like an email, but yeah, I hope you're doing good regardless. Welcome back. We speak about minimalism, simple living, intentional living, thrifting, organization, and all that good stuff. So this video is it's bordering controversial, but I'll try to be as objective as possible. And if you've read the title by now, you know that we are talking about shopping online in Nairobi, in Kenya. When the pandemic hit, a lot of businesses moved online because we were in lockdown. People had to make a living. Even before that, there were a lot of people selling clothing online, and it's a great source of revenue for a lot of people in Kenya, I'm sure, as is the rest of the world. So this video is just a little bit of my experience stroke what I think could improve when it comes to shopping online from a consumer perspective, and also from someone who has an online business. So number one is, when you're shopping online, especially for clothing, there's this feeling sometimes as though you're forcing, it's giving forcing issues. It's like you're pressing someone to sell something to you. And I think as a seller, what you could do is just be friendly or be bothered or sound bothered. I don't know, like just follow up a little bit more. I understand that sometimes if especially you're selling on Instagram and you're getting like 1,000 messages daily, this can be really hectic, because at the end of the day, there's a human being behind the account. But I mean, as a consumer and as the customer, I don't want to come to your page to consume, or rather to purchase something, and then feel like I'm forcing you to take my money. Like, why won't you take my money? Do you not want my money? What's going on? Is it me? Is it you? Are you having a bad day? Do you want me to have a bad day? Like, help me help you. Like, I just want the item, so help me help you. That's my number one experience shopping online, and this is whether this is a thrift store or a really high profile online shop. And for high profile online shops, what I prefer, or what I end up doing, is I just shop on their website, because it's way easier that way. But there's this one experience I had also shopping via someone's website, or rather via a brand's website, and still the experience was not great. The communication between how I'm supposed to receive my order, when I'm supposed to receive it, that communication was not great. I also bought this item during the Black Friday sale, so I'm aware that there's a possibility that just could have was probably a crazy time for the person who was selling. And so yeah, another thing that is a little bit that makes me feel like shopping online is actually wild here is that, especially when you're buying clothing, what you see is really not what you get. People have perfected the art of taking photographs. I'm all for presenting your product in the best way possible, but like, you know that meme that goes like expectation versus reality? If I find it, I'll just insert it here. That's just what you get, because sometimes you go on a website, a brand's website, or even an Instagram page, and you see all these photos well displayed, and you can envision yourself in that outfit, or you can envision yourself getting that product. Then when you get the outfit or the product, you're just like, what's going on? And so I've had this in different shapes of forms. I will admit though that thrift shops are more notorious for this. One of the things I've had happen to me was that people just indicate the wrong size for the item they're selling. So I'm a size 8 to 10, slowly bordering 12 actually with the way I'm eating. So someone would just write size 8 to 10 on the item that they're selling, and then when you purchase it and you go home and try the item, you're like, this is not a size 8 to 10. And this comes from someone who actually knows their size properly. I'm the child of a tailor, so I know I would rarely ever go wrong with my measurements. So there was this wild experience I had where on the page someone said that the item was a size 8 to 10, and then when I bought it, the item literally read size 14. So I was like, how did this person make this mistake? And I had to get a refund. I had to take back the item to the pickup station. It was just a waste of my time. I was not pleased. I was super bored by that process and the fact that this person didn't get the sizing right. And aside from that, the item also was missing, it was a wrap skirt and it was missing one strap. And I didn't, like, you know, even if it's a thrifted item, my coins matter. And you know, you already know how I feel about buying items to fix them. So I would understand if the customer got their sizing wrong, but if you're selling clothing, you should know about the product enough to know what product is what size, because a lot of people don't walk around knowing their measurements. But yeah, that's some wild stuff. I bought a t-shirt from one of some really high profile Instagram online shops in Kenya, and you know, it's backed by influencers and influencers know this. But how you're treated as someone who's just a common Daisy or Karen but yeah, someone who's just a common Daisy buying the item and an influencer will definitely not receive the same treatment as a brand, which is unfortunate because the majority of the people who are likely to buy from you are not influencers. Yeah, so I bought this item from this brand and on the page it was beautiful. It was a beautiful nude brown t-shirt. It was wonderful. I envisioned the number of outfits I would be pulling with this item, and then I got it and the fabric was not great and the brown was washed out. It did not look like what it did on camera, and I couldn't even I had no energy to deal with that, and I just said I'll just use this as my pajama or as my t-shirt for the house, because where am I gonna wear this, you know? Ooh, another thing that I see a lot with especially thrift online shops is no refunds, no returns, no exchanges. And for me, I'm just like, red flag. Yeah, when you're buying things that are thrifted, first of all, how the African female body is set up is that even if I'm a size 8 to 10, there's a likelihood that my body is not set up the same exact way as another size 8 to 10. And I know that as someone who's selling clothes, this is a dynamic that's extremely hard to control. However, when you're purchasing something from a store, you like a size 8 could just not fit you right or not sit well on your body. So when you tell me no returns, no exchanges, no returns, no refunds, I'm just like, you no, sir. It's hard, and I think that just puts you as me as a shopper. Let me speak for myself. That puts me as a shopper in a really difficult position. And I once saw a page that has a tagline that goes along the lines of every sale is final. And I was like, something along those lines, which loosely translates to once you purchase, it's done. Like we're not taking it back, we're not switching it, we're not nothing. And that I can understand that maybe shops do this to protect themselves because customers can be fussy. I mean, people in general can be fussy, and if you don't have policies around how to safeguard your business from that can be super hectic. And I understand that, especially as a business person. But on the flip side, you are putting the customer in a really difficult situation. If the item doesn't fit me, or it has a dent, or it's missing a strap, or it's torn. I've gotten an item before that where the strap of the dress had come off, and then they hand stitched it back with fabric that is not even of the same color as the dress. So the dress was polka dot black and white, and it was stitched back with light blue thread. And then you tell me no refund, no return, no exchange. We're going to fight. So yeah, I mean, I understand that all those things are done to protect the shop and obviously to protect the business person. However, you're putting me in a very difficult situation if I've paid an upward of 1,000 shillings for a thrifted item, and then it has dents and I can't wear it, and I can't, like, what do I do with the item? Help me understand. This is not to say that thrift shops are the only villain. There are a lot. And I saw a tweet, a friend of mine sent me a tweet, shout out to you, Diana, about people complaining about a fashion brand in Kenya that sells clothes a bit on the higher end. And this person was basically explaining, or rather she put up a photo on Twitter displaying her dissatisfaction of the item, and the item didn't fit her body right, and yet she gave the right measurements, and it sounded like the seller wasn't willing to do anything about it, which is really unfortunate, because if I'm going to pay top tier for an item, I think it should fit me, because I need to get wear out of the item at the end of the day. So what I do to safeguard me and my coins and my time from all this is, one, if a shop for one has a pickup station that is hectic for me to deal with, I just immediately I say no. I will not die if I don't buy this item. I will likely find another item. So to curb this, what I do is that I ensure that if I can fit the item before I make my purchase, like I remove the money from my account or my wallet, it fits and I like how it looks on my body. And aside from that, I have figured out how I will wear this item so that I don't have any regrets by the time I'm sitting with this thing in my wardrobe. And this is something that I realized when you shop at places like Mr. Price. So Mr. Price, now MRP, especially in the CBD store, has this thing where they mark down items and you're able to get items for really well prices, and it's a really good place to buy your basics. However, sometimes if you're keen, a lot of marked down items have dents. Some of them don't, some of them do. So dents are like holes, rips, foundation that someone went shopping and tried on an item, and now there's a foundation stain. And a lot of times foundation is not easy to get out of clothing, so washing it makes it worse, and that's a story for another video. But yeah, you catch my drift. So a lot of times when I see that, I'm just like, immediately no. Ensure that you've inspected an item to the fullest before you buy it, because it really sucks to be like, hey, I got this thing for a steal, or I got this thing on sale, and then you get home and it has a hole in a place that you cannot fix, or now you have to start looking for someone to stitch the item. No, it's not a good use of your time. Another thing that I do that has helped me a lot is that I practice delayed gratification. Now, it is in my nature that when I see something, immediately I want to get it. I have envisioned myself in the item. I have envisioned the places I would go with this item. I have seen it all in my brain. My brain has just, but one thing that's really helped ground me and also helped me make better decisions with my wardrobe and what I allow in my space is that if I see something I like, if it's not urgent, or if I especially haven't budgeted for it, I wait it out. I go home, think about it, look at my wardrobe, see if I really need that thing, think about where I'm going to store that thing if it's not something that's going in my closet, think about whether I can afford it if it's a high priced item, whether I'm willing to make some sacrifices to acquire this item. And so I sit with it, and if I saw it on Instagram, sometimes I just save it and sit with it for a while, think about it, explore the options, explore cheaper options if possible, and cheaper options that don't compromise quality or what I'm looking for. Then if I'm still thinking about the item, or if it still makes sense to me, then I go ahead and purchase. And this has saved me from a lot of wastage, because and if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen me auction a lot of stuff. So what happens is that when I do not exercise delayed gratification, I buy stuff that I later have to sell, and some stuff doesn't sell and I have to donate the items, which is not bad, but like sometimes I do get buyer's remorse, because I'm like, oh man, I wasted all this money and here we are. So practicing delayed gratification just helps you curb all that stuff. And right now I'm just like, am I not wearing clothes? Am I not looking good? Do I not have things in my wardrobe that can help me look good for whatever situation I do? So will I die if I don't have this item? I will not die. Another way I mitigate this is that I don't push or press the seller to sell to me. If I send you a message on Instagram inquiring about a particular item, you don't respond, or you respond like I'm bothering you, like nakusumbua. I'm just like, not meant to be, and it's okay. And we don't really need, I don't really need this thing that bad. I'm not dying, so it's fine. And I've just learned that the more you persist in a situation that's not that's feeling forced, the higher the chance that you'll regret it. And I'm not in the pursuit of regret. Yeah, that's been my online shopping experience. I don't want to make this video super long. Tell me what your experiences have been. I'll tell you about the great online shopping experiences I've had. I know this video was bordering negative experiences, and so yeah, just tell me how your experiences have been. If you've had a reality versus expectation gone south type of situation, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.